People are far too invested in creators and artists. In my estimation, the focal point should be the creations or the artistry, not the individuals themselves. And I understand how it happens. For instance, with music, people who love music, they associate the beautiful sound and the lyrics with their own lives. They identify with it, they fall in love with it. The problem is, they start believing that this creative mind or this amazing musician is exactly who's performing on the track. The music starts to represent all things good and all things relatable to the listener. People metaphorically become that musician in mind, and there's this level of love and compassion that grows for the musician, the rapper, the band, the writer, whomever. People really develop feelings for these creators. Even in sports, people who love sports, they watch it constantly. Their favorite athletes are followed, studied, and glorified in most situations. People watch these athletes and think they are actually playing. Like they can feel the competition, feel the pain, feel the sorrow. They feel the joy and the triumph. They are connected. Meanwhile, these motherfuckers can't run a block without passing out. Can't play no ball, can't kick a rock directly in their path. These motherfuckers be thinking they're on a tennis court with Serena in a racket but can't swat a fly with a fly swatter. These connections that they have, they're normally okay until they aren't. Until these artists, these musicians, these athletes, politicians, pastors, doctors, whomever these people are looking up to, until they reveal their true selves and their characters actually shit. Then these same unrealistic lovers are so deeply hurt by the truth that surfaces, or some terrible mistake that's been made, or some change in the status quo, that now, all of a sudden, everything that creator has done is no longer acceptable and can't be enjoyed. Personally, I just do not agree. Artistic brilliance, athleticism, and greatness is not reserved for the greatest people in the world. Newsflash, all the things you hear and see are not original, not authentic. They're not an actual representation of who these people are. Their works are what you identify with, not the worker. You do not know them. Let's take R. Kelly for instance. He seems to still be a topic of discussion today. R. Kelly was one of the most, if not the most, celebrated R&B artists in history. But his status was earned with knowledge of some past transgressions. Dude's catalog is indubitably great. He can't be rivaled. But after a terrible documentary, some court cases, and a public crucifixion, all these people have decided to just cancel his catalog. Please don't get it confused. What he did or was accused of doing is awful. I don't condone it, celebrate it. I'm not going to stand by any of it. Whatever he gets on a personal level, he deserves. But what in the fuck does that have to do with the art involved? Music is a personal connector. People hear music and apply it to self. That's why it's so appealing and so permanent in the grand scheme of entertainment. I'm going to give you a quick example. Like when I'm singing one of R. Kelly's tracks, you remind me of my Jeep, I want to ride it, and something like my sound. Listen, I cannot sing. I think y'all can hear that. But when I'm singing his tracks, I feel that shit. That particular song, I feel it based on experience. It's the experience of fucking with females that were easy on the eye, tough, mobile on any terrain, and still able to be fucked with no doors. And harmonic and spirit, the sound matters. But I don't associate that song with R. Kelly convincing Lil Tatasia to have a fiesta in some palatial basement. I fuck with the song, not that man. At the very end of the day, it all comes down to the art or the artist. For me, give me the art every time. The artist is just a method of delivery as far as I'm concerned. And this part here is just unrelated, but it's very similar in mind to me. In society right now, the government has been giving out these stimulus checks. It's really helping out some, maybe not so much for others. Regardless, if a stimulus is being sent, I don't give a fuck whether I receive it via direct deposit, a mail check, or a Walmart gift card. Let me get that. And I truly don't give a fuck who fucked up along the way of sending it. That is not my concern. You cannot erase greatness or great shit, and I don't believe you should be trying. The reality is fucked up people do fucked up shit. If you learn to connect to the art, the artist is replaceable. I'm not going to set myself up believing in people just because they were great at a particular craft. I'll celebrate their successes and applaud their contributions, but I'm here for the art, not the artist. I don't want people out there to think that this level of thinking only applies to actual celebrities. We literally live in a world that online personalities are also glorified. People think that their virtual excellence is the equivalent of principled living. Case in point, the relationship guru Derek Jackson. Look, on my new platform, I will never make a habit of going at people personally because I don't know them. I focus on situations and alternative perspectives mainly. But this motherfucker had people falling in love with his online persona. It was believed to be his truth. A living was actually made off this information that was so profound and spot on to so many across the nation. Right on schedule, all that information that was delivered was applied directly to the creator. Meanwhile, it was exposed that all this truth, all this amazing content, and all this criticism of black men, it was all a facade. My question is everything he said that you loved and believed to be so powerful, is it now just counterfeited? Or is it simply his individual fraudulence? To me, if it's about his character, what happens to the messages? A lot of y'all were just fucking with it all a few weeks ago. I'm actually intrigued by people's answers to this question. So feel free to leave your answers in the comments. Regardless, I don't believe messaging that fits your individual truths should be erased because of an individual's bullshit. Still, with all that said, personally, I find shit like that situation hilarious. I mean, you criticize, down talk, hate on, and damn near criminalize all the people, especially the black males that were doing the exact shit you were doing in the dark. Then the light comes on and you ass naked in your own stable, riding your high horse, entertaining little ponies that belong to the streets. Somebody go call God. Then the wife services, who was actually a victim at first, she pops up on video holding this man's hand like she is the first lady supporting the president who got sucked off by the hell. I know God didn't answer that first call, but somebody please redial him. God, get on down here now. These devilish characters out here acting a pure ass.